What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is specifically for all of you current or future students out there. I'll be sharing some spread ideas that were helpful for me back when I was in school, so hopefully they'll work for you as well. To start off, every student, especially those of you that are in college, needs a place to write out the semester schedule. So I started this spread by writing semester schedule in big capital letters across the top of the 2 pages. Then I sectioned off the rest of the page into 6 different sections, one for each day of the week and an extra column to write out the different classes of the semester. I only started bullet journaling towards the end of my schooling, so I only got to use this spread a couple of times, but it was always my most referenced spread in my journal, especially at the beginning of each semester. And you don't need to be in college to use this spread either, because it can also be super helpful for remembering your schedule for each year of high school. But as you can see, I wrote each day of the week in simple calligraphy to have some contrast with the header, and then I wrote classes in the extra column in my regular handwriting. And on the far left side of the spread, I wrote out the hours of the day where I could potentially have a class. Then I wrote out each of my classes under the dedicated section and assigned each class to a specific color. For the entire semester, I would use the same assigned colors for anything related to that class, so I could easily see what the assignment is for. Lastly, you just fill in your class schedule in the blank space under each day. I would like to do this by taking the assigned color for each class and highlighting the hours I would be in that class. And I also liked to write out important information like the class, times, and location in the highlighted area. If you also have other commitments such as work or sports, you can easily add those schedules into this spread as well to help you visualize your days better. Another great spread that helps students visualize their semester is the semester overview page. This spread is used to outline all major projects, assignments, and tests for the whole semester. Using this page really helped my time management because I was able to see how my assignments would pile up if I ended up procrastinating on them. But for the layout of this spread, I just separated the empty space into 4 sections, one for each month of the semester, and then added mini calendars to each month. Adding these calendars are super helpful because, as you will see in just a bit, they will outline what day of the week each assignment lands on. And then I filled in the headers and calendars for each month using the fall semester as an example, but you can easily swap out the months for whatever semester you are in. Similarly to the previous spread, I added a key that listed all of my classes, and I made sure to use the same colors for each class so that I don't get confused when looking at things across my different spreads. The way I used this spread was by highlighting the day an assignment falls on, and then to the right of the calendar I would redraw all of the highlighted days and write what the assignment is. And if you have multiple assignments that fall on the same day, you can easily color in each day on the calendar partially instead of fully like I did here. This next spread isn't going to be one that everyone uses, but if you like to keep track of your grades, then it will be very useful, especially when you have multiple midterms that are weighted differently. I outlined this spread by making separate boxes for each class I wanted to track grades for. I only have 3 boxes outlined here, but you can easily add another page if you wanted to do this for more classes. So I just colored in the headers of each box and then wrote in each of the column titles, such as assignment, date, percent, grade, and total. And then using the assigned color for the class I'm tracking, I highlighted an area above the table and wrote in the class name. Lastly, I wrote out all the major assignments, the date they're due, and what percentage they count towards my overall grade. And as these assignments pass, I would then add what grade I received on each one under the grade column. And then you just repeat the same process for all of your remaining classes that you want to track. Next is a very simple spread that every student should have, especially if you struggle with getting yourself to study. Now, after saying that, you most likely know that it's a study log, but I promise it really does motivate you to study more because it's so satisfying to see the entire page filled up. I liked to have this spread for each month since I aimed to do studying every day, but you can easily just have one for the entire semester. But for the layout, I had a column to record the month and day, and then I wrote out a range of hours across the top. Then all you have to do is write down the day you studied, highlight the area right up to the amount of time that you spent studying, and then write down around how much time was actually spent studying. If you're someone who has a hard time keeping your assignments organized, then this assignment tracker will save your life. I was always pretty good at keeping track of my assignments, but the spread honestly just made everything so much easier. And really quickly, I just want to say that I kept the bones of all of these spreads plain and simple so that anyone could easily incorporate them into their current theme or be able to make them quickly, because I know life can get super busy once school starts up. But for the layout of this spread, I started with drawing a large box, then highlighting every other line within the box. And this just helps to separate out the lines and makes everything easier to read. Then I separated out the large box into 4 different columns, and you will see what those are for in just a minute. Because there's always a crazy amount of assignments each semester, I made this spread over 2 pages, so I just duplicated the same table onto the second page. And if you still don't think that's enough room, you can always add more pages to the spread. Also, if you don't like having all of your assignments for different classes in the same table, you can make separate tables for each class. And to finish off the table, I just colored in the header and then wrote in the column titles of class, assignment, due date, and a check mark to show if the assignment was completed or not. For my last spread in this video, I wanted to show you all an easy and simple weekly layout that is helpful for students. So I just started by adding the monthly header, and of course you can always change the style of the header to match your current theme. And then I drew out the daily boxes across the middle of the page, making sure each box is relatively the same size. But you can also change up the sizes of each box if you know you don't normally have any tasks on certain days. And to finish off the daily boxes, I wrote simple headers in my regular handwriting for each day of the week, and I also decided to write out the number of each day in words instead of numbers, but you can easily do whichever one you like best. At the bottom of the spread, I added 2 trackers and 2 sections that were really useful for me when I was a student, and those are a weekly study log, goals list, to-do list, and a weekly sleep log. And I just made the headers for these the same as the above daily headers and then filled in the trackers with the days of the week on the x-axis and hours on the y-axis. So that is all for this video on helpful spreads for students. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and find some of these spreads useful for your own journal. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure to keep on watching for a full flip through.